Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Coffee and Conversation with me, Kathy Jackson. Guys, I love coffee. Do you love like the fresh smell of roasted coffee? Like, I don't even have to necessarily drink it, I just like to smell it. But, drinking it is really cool, especially this time of year because they've got the pumpkin spice. And for those of you who have not tried it, a pumpkin spice latte. I have to make myself stay out of the fancy coffee shops because that's a waste of money. But you can buy all of those ingredients and you can make your own coffee. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope you guys are having a wonderful week. I know I am. I am so excited about this broadcast because we are going to talk about one of my favorite pastimes. And that is, I know from the title it says what did I name this? Chairman of the board, BORD, not BORED, not BOARD. And that obviously that was a play on words and very intentional. So what are we talking about? We are talking about the armchair quarterbacks or the armchair athletes or the armchair entrepreneur, the armchair dreamer. In other words, the person who sits in their chair and imagines themselves doing something that they aren't actually doing in real life. Let me tell you how I came to this subject. So last week was the conclusion of the U.S. Tennis Open. And I see someone watching me. Say hi, put it in the feed. Again, sometimes I see it and sometimes I see it afterwards. So whether you're live with me or whether you check this program out later on, because a lot of people, they do that. I see that you tune in, after the live goes off, which is awesome. Just act like I'm talking to you live and respond with me in the feed. So I was just saying, I don't know if some people know me and they know this, but I am an avid tennis fan. And the conclusion of the U.S. Tennis Open happened last week, and it was phenomenal. So the big headline is Djokovic on the men's side had an opportunity to win a Grand Slam, hit all four titles in the same year, and he did not do it. And I was very hurt and disappointed. But I understand the pressure that he was under. It hasn't been done since 1969. It's the same pressure that Serena Williams is under to win one more championship open so that she can tie Virginia Wade. If you don't know about tennis, you don't know what I'm talking about. But just know that, I sat back and rooted for them, not Serena. She wasn't in this tournament, but for Djokovic. And I was heartbroken when he didn't make it. But on the flip side, on the women's side, guys, it was a phenomenal. Listen, for the first time in U.S. tennis history, they had two teenage girls going for the title. And one of them, as a matter of fact, one of them was a qualifier. And what that means is that she was ranked so low that they wouldn't put her into a big tournament like this unless she qualified. So she had to go through a whole bunch of extra matches before the tournament began in order to be allowed into the tournament. Let me tell you. So that was Emma out of the UK, out of Great Britain. And then there was Leylah Fernandez out of Canada, who I was rooting for. And I gave her all my energy. Let me tell you guys, when the U.S. Open came on, I got in my favorite chair. Anybody got a favorite chair? Anybody got a favorite chair? My favorite chair, it has the automatic pullback where I can lean back, put my feet up. It's got a headrest. It's got cup holders so I can have my drink. I have a tray sitting there inside of me, and some of them have trays. Anybody got a favorite chair that you watch your favorite program that you binge watch, or your sporting event? And I'm set up, and it has automatic chargers, so I can leave my phone right there. And I don't have to get up in order to check the latest TikTok video craze. I can do it all from one chair. But I'm set up in my chair, in my lounger, watching watching the tennis tournament. And I am rooting for these ladies like you can't believe. I'm sending energy through the TV, and they played a great game. Unfortunately, the one I wanted to win, Leylah Fernandez, she was the second runner-up. But don't cry for Leylah. Being in that tournament and reaching the finals took her salary, what she got paid for doing her job, which is to play tennis. Previously, the most she had made was $161,000 or something in that ballpark. Just by making it to the finals, she gets $1.2 million. Right? But, she a real athlete. She wanted to win. But the winner of that, hold on, I have to get her name because it's her first name is Emma. Her last name, I always have trouble pronouncing it, but she deserves to be recognized. Raducanu, Raducana, 18 years old, won the U.S. Open, and she was the qualifier. She wasn't even ranked high enough to get in the tournament, and she won the whole thing. And by winning the U.S. Open, she takes home $2.8 million and some change. $2.8 million. So these girls, I sat there and watched them throughout the whole tournament go from obscurity to the top of the game, to the championship. And it was phenomenal. I sat glued in my favorite chair. Did y'all tell me what your favorite chairs is? You got a favorite chair in your house? They got these chairs. You can get them customized to anything you want. You can get them to rock and swivel. You can get power lifts, so you don't have to exert too much energy getting your footrest up. Some of them you can even get to raise up so it can get you out of the chair. They come heated. They can massage you. And you know what? Now they even offer you a chair and a half. Have you heard about that? Like, you used to have these easy chairs, these recliners, and people would sit back in them. But what they know is that if you sit in these chairs too long and indulge in these activities all the time, that chair is not going to be big enough. So you can now go and buy one of these loungers in a size chair and a half. I don't know about you guys, but that was hilarious to me when I saw that, because I looked up easy chairs. Listen, these chairs are so popular, and they know that what they do is they make you inactive. They've built a whole brand around them called La-Z-Boy Furniture. La-Z-Boy Furniture. Now, let me tell you, when I sat in my La-Z-Boy and I was sitting back and I'm relaxing, and I did this for the whole tournament because I love tennis. And I called some of my friends from my chair and I told them, talking about the games, those who will listen to me about tennis. And I'm like, if I had been exposed to tennis as a teenager, I would have gave Venus and Serena a run for their money. I played tennis, but never formally. And I just believe if I had some lessons, I would have gave them a run for their money. And so my friends kindly or not so kindly reminded me, like, if you had taken tennis, you do know that Venus and Serena would not have been doing your time frame. Like, they were babies when you would have been playing tennis. So there's no way you could have gave them a run for their money. Sometimes I think I'm younger than I really am. That's okay. That's a good thing. Anybody out there think you're younger than than the numbers on the calendar say? So anyway, maybe it wouldn't have been Venus and Serena. Maybe it'd have been Steffi Graf. But the point is that when it was all over and those young ladies got their trophies and they got their checks, and I was still sitting in my lazy boy in my armchair dreaming about what I could have been doing with tennis, it dawned on me that I could still do something with tennis. I could either sit there and continue being an armchair dreamer, or I could make something happen. Have you ever done that? You see yourself, you want to do something, but there's all these things that stop you. Now, I stopped playing tennis years ago because I have an injury. Well, it's not really an injury. It's more of an issue if I don't fix it. So anyway, I learned that if I tape up, I saw Serena do that one time. She was all taped up on her thigh. I said, I wonder if that'll work for me. But yeah, if I tape up, I can get back out there and still play tennis. My son said I look like RoboCop because I got all these. When I play tennis, I got to wrap my legs and wrap my elbows and my wrists, But regardless of all of that, what I realized is that I love tennis. I love to play, and I had not played in a few years, and I miss it. I saw those girls having the time of their lives, doing what they love. And the cool thing is they get paid for it. Now, sometimes the things that we love to do, it's not about business. It's just about being active, and it's about enjoying life. Hey, Nashika, how are you? I've been missing you. This is only my second broadcast, though. But Nashika always supports. Good to see you. But yeah, I love tennis, and I hadn't played in a while. So I started, the problem, you see, this is what we do. When we say something we want to do, what I'm about to do right now, we start coming up with the problems, the issues, and the roadblocks. And so here was my problems why I wasn't playing tennis. It's very hard to find somebody to play tennis. I looked into going to one of the tennis organizations, and quite honestly, they're quite expensive. And where I am on my budget right now, the way my checking and my savings work, it just wasn't in there for what they want for that type of recreation. But you know what? I started calling people I know who played tennis at some point in time to see if I could get somebody to play with me. And I was able to get a tennis game going. And so I have now been playing tennis, and I feel so alive, and I really, really felt good because my tennis partner, she may be listening, I ain't gonna call her name out. She's about 20 years younger than me. And I mean, when we were running, she was out of breath, and I was good to go. And secretly, that made me feel good. But, it was just a matter of her breathing techniques. Anyway, the whole thing, we worked that out, and we have been playing tennis. I have called a couple of other friends, and I've got them on board, and we're going to start playing tennis. And so my point is, we can sit in those comfortable chairs that we have gone out and purchased, invested in. We can sit there and be armchair athletes, or we can get in the game. And I talk to a lot of people who say they're bored, and if I say, well, what are you doing, girl? I'm not doing anything. I'm just sitting here watching this, doing it. Okay. Well, let's just talk about what we're doing. If you're sitting in those armchairs and you're dreaming of doing something, you want to do something, you got a whole lot of reasons why you can't. Listen, that is not going to lead to anything except being more of a lazy boy or girl and you needing a seat and a half in order to continue to watch all the things that you watch that have you bored. Guys, there is no reason in life that you should be bored. If you are bored, then it's your fault. It's your fault. There are some things that you can do to change it now. I would never just blame you and leave you hanging. There's some things you can do to change the situation. You create the world that you live in. You create it. 9 times out of 10, if you have some friends, you might have been turning them down from opportunities to do things. Guys, if you want to stop being bored, you don't want to be the chairman of the board, then you have to open yourself up to activity. You have to open yourself up. When somebody invites you somewhere, you say, I don't really feel like going because you done sat around all day. Guess what? Sometimes you never feel like it. The things that we need to do, we never feel like it. We need to exercise. Who feels like exercising? Nobody. You just do it because you need to. Who feels like going to work? Nobody. You go to work because you need to get paid. You will never feel like doing the things that are going to really benefit you. Oftentimes you never feel like doing it. But here's the thing. It's glory, it's victory, it's elation, it's life on the other side of what you don't feel like doing. So even though you might not feel like doing something, put a little extra effort in and try it. One of the other things, a lot of times, since you work from home, anybody out there work from home? Or you at home all day, you retired maybe, you at home all day. Guys, you still have to get up and put some clothes on. Put some clothes on. Psychologically, it changes who you are in that moment. Nashika, you work from home, you can't be in your pajamas all day. And this is a shout out to my sisters who wear their pajamas and their slippers out to the store and to the airport and everywhere. Change your clothes and you'll get a new perspective on life. I'm not going, don't come for me. I ain't going to go real hard on the pajama wearing group. But I'm just saying that psychologically, when you get up and put on clothes versus laying around in your pajamas all day, you feel different. When you feel different, you do things differently. Feelings cause you to act. That's why the emotions emote. So the way you feel will cause you to act. She could get dressed every day. And I could tell, because you know what? You take the time out to tune into the broadcast. That means that you have found it, you make it a priority. That's the other thing. You have to schedule your day, guys. You can't just let the day happen. Plan your day. Figure out what you want to do. Jackie says, she agreed. You should not be bored. Life has too much to offer, guys. And I'll give you another reason why you're bored, because maybe you don't have the money. You don't have money. It costs to go out. Guys, it don't cost to go for a walk. It don't cost to go to the park district and to sign up for swimming classes. It doesn't cost you to volunteer your time to help out in your community. There are lots of organizations that would love for you to just show up and say, hey, I'm volunteering. Do you need some help? So there's really no excuse. If you don't know people, this is how you get to know people. You find an activity that you want to do and you get up and you do it. Stop making excuses. We talked about vaccinating from excusitis last week. Stop making excuses and get out and do it. I could have stopped playing tennis. You know, I got issues where I got to wrap up. It's hard to find a partner. It's an expensive sport to sign up and really, that's why I never had lessons. I couldn't afford them, you know, but you know what I did? Oh my God, this just brought me to a quick story. I was almost through and I'm gonna let y'all go, but how I learned to play tennis is because it was one summer when I was in college, after my freshman year in college, and I was at home, and my job that summer was to babysit my little brother because my mom had to work. My baby brother and my grandmother. My grandmother was dealing with senility, and so my mom had to work, and somebody needed to be at the house. And so since I was home from college, I didn't have a job. That's what I did, and so it was very boring. I was bored. My next door neighbor, same age. In fact, we went to high school together. Real coincidence. We were next door neighbors, and she was bored. Neither one of us had money, but you know what? I don't know why we both had tennis rackets, but we did. Neither one of us knew how to play tennis. We went to the store, bought some tennis balls, and we walked to the park early in the morning, 6 a.m., and started hitting tennis balls back and forth. Now, we couldn't hit them back and forth initially. It took a little time, but we learned to return them. And so I'm self-taught in playing tennis, but I learned to play tennis because I was bored. I didn't have money. So those of you who don't have money, you bored, there's activities that you can do. I found a friend who also was bored. And so we would get up and do that. And, we found a way to alleviate the boredom, have some activity, and to deal with the situations that we had to deal with at the time. So the bottom line is, guys, I don't want you to be bored. I don't want you to need a chair and a half. I don't want you to need a chair and a half to sit back and watch your streaming programs. And really, it's nothing wrong with sitting back, taking a break, and watching some TV to release, to relax. But the challenge is when you stay there. There's nothing wrong with sitting in your armchair and dreaming about your future, imagining how you want your future to be. The problem is if you stay there. Guys, I actually recommend that you sit in your favorite chair, lean back, swivel, rock, heat, massage. I recommend that you do that at least once a week for about 20 minutes without any stimulation. No TV, no phone, no streaming, none of that. And imagine what it is that you want your life to look like. And a lot of people might say, like, I just want to relax. I don't want to do anything. But I guarantee you, if you were ever at the point where all your bills were paid, you had enough money, you didn't have to work, your kids was grown, everybody's self-sufficient. You woke up in the morning, you didn't have to do anything because everything was taken care of. You would, at some point, you might enjoy it for a couple weeks, but at some point, you are going to get to the point that your life no longer has meaning. And you're going to think back to the struggles, the hard times, the things that had you in tears, and you're going to wish for those days. You think I know, who wants that? It sounds crazy, but actually life is in the struggle, guys. It's in the challenge. If you get to that point where it's no more a challenge, you are going to be bored. You will be chairman of the board, and then you're going to have to create a new challenge for yourself. So don't not do something because it seems hard. You have a good idea, you're excited about it, you start off on it, then it gets a little difficult. Then you're like, oh my God, why am I doing this? This sucks, I suck. You fight through that and you say, okay, maybe it ain't so bad. Then you get to the other side and you start having one or two successes and you're like, okay, I was able to help somebody. I was able to make some money. I kind of like this. And you do it a few more times until you get to the point that your original dream has come to fruition. And then you're back to like, oh my God, this is the best idea ever. So it's a cycle. Hey, Rick, how are you? It's a cycle, guys. You start with a good idea. There's going to be bumps in the road. You're going to be challenged. But when you get up to the other side and you overcome those challenges, you're going to be stronger. You're going to know more about yourself. You're going to know more about other people. You're going to understand how to move a project forward from beginning to end. And when you get to the other side, you're going to celebrate and it's going to feel awesome. And then you're going to look for your next new challenge. So I appreciate all you guys checking in today. Hey, if you like the shows, somebody told me I should remind you guys, like and share those on your page. For those of you who are entrepreneurial minded, you have a business or you want one, you don't know what it is, or you've already started it, but you have never actually formalized it, talked it through with somebody, and really have it laid out where you can succinctly speak about who you help and how you do it. I am offering a free workshop. I'm going to put the information in the feed. I think, yeah, there it is. Okay, I am offering a free workshop on ideas to income, how to take your ideas to income. And it's going to be October the 2nd in my studio, Deja Hue Art Studio on 105th and Western, and it is free. Now, if you're one of those armchair entrepreneurs, meaning you've had these ideas, you just haven't moved on them, you need to come on out. And I just offered it to you. It doesn't cost you anything except getting past the fact that you don't feel like getting up in the morning on the Saturday and coming out to the studio. Now, don't disregard free as invaluable. I promise you, this is valuable information. I put the link in the feed. Now, when you go there, it is going to ask you to register, and you will have to pay $20. I'm not charging you $20. I am using the $20 to hold your seat. When you show up, I will have a crisp $20 bill waiting for you. I will give you your $20 back. But what I don't want, because it's limited seating, I don't want people to reserve and then don't show up. So if you're interested, come out. I'm going to say one-on-one, but it may be more people here. But if it's only one person, then it's going to be me and you one-on-one. But I am going to help you flush out your ideas. I'm going to help you figure out who your target audience is. And we'll be doing these workshops every other week, like twice a month, but each time it'll be a different subject. So this is the very beginning. If you're at the very beginning of wanting to start your business, this is the workshop for you. If you started your business and you've never written a business plan, this is the workshop for you. So that is my gift to you guys. I want to thank you all for joining me. Hey, come out if you're looking for something to do. Today is Wednesdays. It's Wind Down Wednesdays here at Deja Hue at 5 o'clock. It's open to the public, and you can walk in and paint, and you don't need a reservations. I will be here. We have Wind Down Wednesdays, and we have Therapeutic Thursdays. So come on out and paint with us 5 to 9 p.m. on Tuesday, Wednesdays, or Thursdays, and you don't have to make a reservation. Just show up, and we'll make sure that you can that you're getting taken care of. So thank you guys for joining me. I hope you have a blessed day and the rest of the week. And hopefully I'll see you for Wind Down Wednesday or Therapeutic Thursdays. Take care, and we'll see you next week at 3:15.